What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and in this video, we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why guys check in prison. Now, for those of you who may not know what checking in refers to, this means to actually go to the hole voluntarily. And you may be hearing this thinking to yourself, why would anybody want to go to the hole? I mean, the way you explain that sounds like the worst place inside of a jail or prison that you could possibly go. Who would want to go there voluntarily? You done yet? You done? Because I'm about to explain that right now. And you know, to expound upon that a little bit further, ooh, expound! What's that, a 7-letter word? Joe, you really have been playing Scrabble on your phone lately. But again, to expound upon that a little bit further, you're absolutely right. I mean, the hole is the worst place that you could possibly serve any amount of time in. Solitary confinement, isolation, the shoe. We've talked about these places, which are pretty much all the same exact places, just a different word used to explain the same exact thing. But we've talked about these places so many times here on After Prison Show, and again, you are absolutely right. This is the worst of the worst type of time that you can serve in prison or jail. And yet again, you will have guys who will check in. And yet again, you will have guys who will check in. Oh my God, Cody! Cody's not here right now. But with all of that being mentioned, what do you say we just go ahead and dive into these top 5 reasons why guys will in fact actually check in prison. Now, the first reason is one that you would probably automatically assume anytime you think about why someone would actually voluntarily want to go to the hole. And that is, of course, because of their charges. And you know, this may come as a surprise to some people who might be watching this video, but I have to assure you that some guys will get locked up with the worst, and I mean the absolute worst, type of charges that anybody could actually catch and get locked up for. And when these guys get locked up, they know what they've done, and they also know what their time is going to be like as soon as they get inside of that jail or prison. And because of that, the best possible bet for them, the safest bet, is to go ahead and check in. Reason being, because as soon as people find out about those charges, which I have to assure you they most certainly will, oh boy, I just got to assure you, they're going to have some problems up inside of that jail or prison. Now, here's something crazy to think about when you think about people getting locked up with these terrible type of charges. You may think like, well, if you get locked up with those type of charges, you're probably going to be doing everything in your power to not tell anybody what you're locked up for. But you know, in a lot of cases, it never really works out like that. Of course, they will not be the ones to tell anybody what they're locked up for. Hey, man, you look like the type of guy who would have some terrible charges. What you locked up for, man? You better tell me right now, or you better tell me. I'm gonna tell you. Oh, you are actually gonna. What? Yeah, you know, I just can't possibly imagine anyone getting locked up with terrible charges being willing and forthcoming to tell any other prisoners what exactly they're locked up for. And with the fact that prisoners who have those type of charges aren't going to be wanting to tell anybody what they are locked up for. Hey man, you look like you got some terrible charges. What you locked up in this jail for? I need to know right now. You better tell me right now. I'm going to show you my paperwork right now. Just wait, I'm going to show you my paperwork. It's official. It's straight from the courts. Just wait. This is from the courts, I swear. It's from the court. These are my charges, right? Please. So even though some guys may try to not tell you exactly what they're locked up for, or more likely lie about that, especially if those charges are of the most horrendous caliber, there are a lot of different ways prisoners can find out exactly what somebody's locked up for. 1, potentially, if those charges are really horrible, they will definitely be on the news. 2, even if they're not on the news, a prison guard could be the one that spills the beans about exactly what said prisoner is locked up for. Because I have to assure you, there are a lot of guards who cannot stand seeing people get locked up for these terrible type of charges. And they're going to be quick to tell a prisoner or two who they know is definitely going to spill the beans about everything what exactly somebody's locked up for if they have, again, how many times have I said terrible charges? But you get what I'm saying. 3, the most likely of any way that prisoners will find out exactly what somebody's locked up for. They're going to find out exactly what that person's name is. They're going to find out exactly what that person's inmate number is. And all they got to do is get somebody on the outside via the phone to look them up and find out exactly what they are locked up for. So yeah, it is definitely without question that the number one reason why people will check in prison voluntarily is because of their charges. Number 2, problems with other prisoners or prison gangs. You know, while locked up, nobody's ever really looking for problems. It just usually tends to happen that problems will come your way. In fact, if anybody ever tells you that they were locked up and they didn't have any problems at all, that's usually either because of one of 2 things. Either they were the biggest, baddest, toughest prisoner there that nobody wanted to have problems with, which is definitely going to be the least likely of the reasons, or the more better reason, the more likely of the 2. Oh, they spent all of the time that they were locked up for checked in. And real quick, just a little clarification to throw into all of this. As we talk about checking in and going to the hole, going to isolation, in this terminology, we are definitely referring to protective custody. You know, you'll have guys who will go to the hole for disciplinary reasons, like getting in trouble, getting in fights, getting caught with contraband, getting caught in the back shower with peach. I mean, whatever the reason, disciplinary issues is one way that you'll go to the hole. However, anytime that you go voluntarily, that is most certainly going to classify you in the other section of the hole, which is PC. And I'm not talking about your programmable computer or whatever PC stands for at all. I'm just talking about protective custody. But you know, it goes without saying that at least once or twice or 10 or maybe even 100 different times while locked up, you're going to run into a situation where you have problems with either a certain prisoner, a big bad bully type of prisoner, or maybe a prison gang. And to be completely honest with you, there was a time when old Joe had a problem with a Spanish gang while locked up where I thought this one guy was gonna kill me. And not to mention, this one guy ended up being like one of the head honchos in this gang and also my bunkie. It's kind of ironic how all of that tends to happen. And I would be lying if I told you I was not contemplating checking in my damn self. I mean, I wasn't trying to get in prison. But again, because of the fact that this guy was my bunkie, I mean, we were cool before this and we ended up being cool after this. Don't get me wrong, however, though I did not have to check in prison, I most certainly copped one hella plea. Meaning I basically had to beg for my life in this situation. Hey, look, man, I know you're my bunkie at home, and I know you got your whole set ready to come after me. I ain't looking for these problems, man. I ain't looking for these problems for me. Hey, you're my bunkie. It pretty much went exactly like that, actually.
I give you one more chance, Guerrero. I give you one more chance, and then it's goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Joe. Goodbye, Joe. Goodbye, Joe.
That was supposed to be Diego from Blow, I think. But yes, problems with other prisoners or gangs, you will certainly have a lot of guys who will get into those type of situations, and because of that, they're going to be doing some checking in. And I ain't just talking about checking in with your mom and your daddy. They're going to be going up to that booth, knocking on that window, wherever them guards are stationed at inside of that jail or prison, like, boom, 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 boom. Guard! Guard, get me out of here! It's not safe for me in here anymore! I got to go! Moving on to number 3, debts. My God, what a vast and wide category this will certainly be in prison. Whether it is that a certain prisoner owes for a gambling debt, maybe they bet on the Super Bowl taking New England. Hey, where'd Joe go? Hey, Joe owes me $100 out there Philly and New England Super Bowl game. Hey, where's Joe at? Hey, Joe packed all his stuff last night. You ain't see him leave? The guards took him out of here like the Secret Service. He's over there at PC, and I ain't talking about no personal consultant neither. He said he just knew New England was going to win that game. Don't be throwing that at me. I ain't the one that bet you on that game. Whether it's betting on any type of sports games or running up a store box debt, and a store box is where you can go to a certain prisoner who's got a locker full of stuff. Damn, look at all them soups that guy got in his lockers. Ramen soups, ramen soups, ramen soups. Add a little cheese, can I get a scoop? Damn, you full up. A store box is where you can go to any prisoner who's got a locker full of stuff who likes to lend and loan those items out. You can go get 2 ramen soups from this guy, but on store day, you're gonna have to pay him back 3. It usually goes 2 for 3, 3 for 5, 5 for 8. The interest gets pretty expensive dealing with a store box. And a lot of guys will run up debts with these guys, and just like that, they're going to the hole. They're checking in. They ain't paying them debts off. They know full good and well they're going to borrow as much as they possibly can. And then when the time is right, they're going to slide a little note to the guards and they getting up out of there. Debt free. Minus whenever that guy that they borrowed those things from finally catches up with them, because in a lot of cases, they will. And then it's on like Donkey Kong. Hey, you thought you was going to get out of here without paying me nothing? You thought you was going to get out of here without paying off that debt? Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Number 4, definitely snitching. And my God, it is like a sport pretty much out here in the free world and also in prison. You know, I don't know where things ever went so wrong at, but nowadays ain't nobody trying to do their time. Everybody wants to do the crime, but they ain't trying to do that time. In fact, there's an old saying while locked up that says, why do 10 when you can give 5 to a friend? You know, a guy actually asked me one time to tattoo that on him, and then had the audacity to tell me that he weren't doing no telling. Hey, Joe, you be doing some tattoos? I'm doing a tattoo right now. Yeah, I be doing tattoos. Why? You trying to get some work? Hey, look, I'm trying to get this tattoo nobody else got. This is super exclusive. You know, you always want to get a tattoo that nobody else got, man. I got something super exclusive. One of a kind. And man, when you just get to the point, what you trying to get, man? Why do 10 when you can give 5 to a friend? How much you gonna charge me for that? I'm trying to get that across my whole back. Why do 10 when you can give 5 to a friend? Just give me $5. You got some soups and some sodas? But with the fact that so many people will live by that motto while locked up, though they may never try to tell you that they do, why do 10 when you can give 5 to a friend? You're most certainly going to have some guys checking into protective custody because of exactly that. Hey, where'd Lollipop go? He was just in here 2 days ago. I was telling him all about my case. Anybody seen that Stone Cold Savage Lollipop? Yeah, I seen Lollipop, and he played you like a sucker. He told me as he was packing his things up, he said, why do 10 and when he can give 5 to a friend? I'm guessing that's you right there. He's in PC though, if you didn't know already. And, you know, you're going to get some extra time, because he said he's trying to go home. And moving on to the final reason why somebody might check in prison. Actually, this is a very common reason. And it's not because they're doing any snitching, or it's because they got any debts or any kind of problems or anything like that. And in fact, I have definitely done this one myself. If you're sitting here watching this video wondering to yourself, hey man, Joe seems soft as a bag of cotton candy. I just know he checked in. I know Joe checked in. Well, I did in fact. I did. No shame in my game at all. But not for any reasons that you might think, because again, I have to assure you, my fight game is on an absolute 1.3. 1.3 out of 10. I swear I'm trained to go, but I ain't too good with these things. My coordination and eye thing, it just don't be working out, because I'm doing a lot of this, and most of the time I'm getting like this. I'm like, oh, you trying to see me? I got my shoes on right now. You trying to see me? What's up? What? I'm good. I'm still good. I think I do to myself. But I did in fact check in one time, and it was because of this 5th top reason why guys will check in. And that is because either one, they're trying to get moved off of a compound, out of a block, out of a housing unit. And that was why I checked in. I was tattooing in this housing unit in the jail. I tattooed every single body in there for like $3 a tattoo. Oh, you want your whole back done? I got you, man. Just give me a bag of coffee. I do your whole back, whatever you want. You want to get why do 10 when you can get 5 to a friend? I got you, a bag of coffee. But there was no more money left in this housing unit. They wouldn't move me, so I had to tell those people, the guards, I was in fear for my life. And let me go ahead and clarify, I did tell everyone in this cell block I was getting ready to do this. And when I did it, they was laughing at me like, damn, Joe, I ain't think you was serious for real. Hey, Joe, who tried to get at you in this cell block? They got you locked down till they gonna move you. I know, but I'm going somewhere else. Well, I hope they making commissary, because ain't none of y'all making no commissary over here. It's been real, though. It's been real. I got to go where they got some more money at, though, because I ain't getting no money, and that was my hustle, tattooing. No money, and the only money I'm getting is coming from tattooing. I had to check in. And lo and behold, I ended up going to another cell block where they got a little bit more money at least. And the other part to this is because maybe somebody just received some bad news. Maybe they heard something bad that's going on in their family. Maybe they heard that Jody's got their girl in the rear naked choke. I mean, for whatever reason, you're going to have guys who will check in just because they cannot and don't want to be around nobody else. Maybe it's for the safety of other people. Because all it'll take is somebody saying the wrong thing to them. Hey, UFC's on right now. Look at that. He got that dude in the rear naked choke. Oh my God, I can't take it! So again, the fifth common reason why somebody would check in voluntarily is either because they're trying to get moved off of a compound, maybe they're at Indian Creek like the last prison I was at that was absolutely hell on earth, or they just got some bad news. And for the safety of everybody else around them, the best thing for them to do is just go to the hole. Hey look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment. Let me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, nor ever find yourself locked up where you might potentially have to voluntarily check in. And make the most of every day. Peace! Hey, look, man, I know you my bookie at home, and I know you got your whole set ready to come after me. I hate looking for these problems, man. I hate looking for these problems for me. Hey, you're my bookie! You pretty much went exactly like that, actually.
I give you one more chance, Guerrero. I give you one more chance, and then it's goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Joe. Goodbye, Joe. Goodbye.